How would you describe that, Coach?
It was disappointing. It was disappointing. I just felt like we didn't competing wise. We never really gave ourselves a chance from the start of the game. We talked about how hard this team plays. We talked about how hungry they are. No matter their record, they're not a 6-win team. We talked about all of those things. And, we came out and I think for the first 4 or 5 shots we didn't shoot one good shot. Just all, I call them shooting turnovers. And you give a team, you give them some confidence, and this is the NBA, and that's why they play the games, and we just didn't have it. I felt like our second group, they started playing as hard as we needed to play, and they moved the ball strong side to weak side. And unfortunately, I had to take them out. They was tired. If I could have, I would have rolled with them the rest of the way. But they were tired. And I took them out, and they made a run again. Game was over. So it was a tough night.
Chauncey, can you give any insight into, like, at halftime tonight, what is your tenor, your mood, your approach to them?
Well, I'm upset. I'm upset because I just felt like, everything that we talked about doing, we just didn't do it. And yes, we knew. We talked about it. They scored the most points in the paint. We give up 13 transition points in the first quarter. And we said, okay, yeah, they haven't been a great three-point shooting team, but they come out and make 11 threes in the first half. So I'm like, okay, either we take away the paint or we take away the three. I don't know if they can make another 11. Just hang in there, But yeah, I'm upset, but I'm also, that half is over. What kind of adjustments? How can we adjust and get back in this game? There's a lot of basketball left. Those are kind of my messages.
So do you feel like your message is getting through to these guys, or is there something getting lost in translation, or are they just not good listeners, or?
I think, maybe all of the above. I probably got to do a better job of getting through, to them what's really important. I think I communicate pretty effectively, but sometimes you just don't have your best stuff, Jason. You have those type of nights, and it sucks. But it's the NBA. You can't underestimate anybody. You can't not respect everybody for being an NBA professional player. And I felt like we came in tonight feeling like we're such a good road team that this team was just going to lay down. It's never going to happen.
We're going to take one from the Zoom. Go ahead, Aaron Fentress. Aaron Fentress, go ahead. Go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead, Aaron. All right, other questions?
Chauncey, you mentioned from a competition perspective. Do you mean like effort in that regard? Or how do you feel like the team's effort was?
Yeah, I do. I do mean effort. And that has a lot to do with just knowing the game plan, knowing personnel, and then just like individually compete, just actually compete. And I just know, when you're playing in a game, if you know exactly what a team wants to do and you've been prepared enough, you should be able to at least slow it down early on until they make adjustments, right? And a lot of times we do that, and we're successful at it. And there's sometimes that we don't. I mean, you look at all the slow starts that we've gotten off to all season. And sometimes, most of the times, obviously in this building, we're able to absorb those slow starts and today we weren't.
We'll go back to Zim. Aaron Fentress, go ahead.
You got me this time?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so I don't know what happened before, but anyway, given how much you guys have struggled on the road, do you sort of feel like you can't afford to be dropping games like this at home to sub 500 teams, regardless of the fact that they have NBA players, et cetera, but there has to be a sense of we need to win these home games?
I mean, I go into these games like this, Aaron, and I'm not thinking about our road record or what's going on the road. I'm so happy to be home and have an opportunity to win a game. But yeah, you look at a game like this, and you feel like before the game or after the game, you're looking at it saying this is a game you probably should have won. But this is a hard-playing team. I mean, obviously, Coach Pop is over there. I mean, we're shorthanded. We lose Ant in the middle, 10 minutes into the game. It was tough. It was tough, but yeah, you would like to look at it and say, man, we got to win this game, but it didn't happen.
Chauncey,
What's the word with the Ant?
Huh?
What's the word with the Ant?
Oh, I don't know. I seen him at halftime. He was getting treatment. I don't have a word on him.
His right ankle sprain. Go ahead.
Chauncey, we're 23 games in. It's a pretty decent body of work to analyze.
Mm-hmm.
What's your biggest concern with this team now?
My biggest concern, I think, at the moment is, I want us to compete harder, man. I want us to compete harder. I want us to be more competitive in every game, and I don't feel like every night we do that. I really don't. I don't feel like we do that every night, and that concerns me.
That's a brutal thing to hear.
It's a brutal thing to say. It really is. It's a brutal thing to say. That concerns me. And I felt that way in a lot of our wins. This is not just after a loss, me saying that. You can have games where you win, where you actually get worse, because you do things so poorly throughout a stretch or two. You end up winning, and then guys don't end up understanding the lesson in the win. And that hurts you, and then when you can't practice, you really can't practice because of the schedule. We have a lot of bodies and people out, it makes it tough.
Got time for a couple more.
So how do you remedy that you're not finding guys who are competing hard enough? How do you remedy that?
Well, I just feel like, and I think I've shown, throughout the season, this early season, I'm going to find. I just want to find guys that's going to play hard, man. I'm willing to lose games that way. I've ended games with lineups that, people probably scratch their head at, But if I find guys that's going to compete, and have this winning spirit about them, I love it. I love it. Like it's crazy to say this, but like, I'll be happy. I was happy to see Dennis get a tech. I'm happy to see him mad that we're losing. I don't see a lot of that. Like, I want a guy to be mad when we're losing. I see that fire in him. I don't. That excites me. That's that competitive spirit that you need.